Today on Shwetkunj, we are joined by a man whose life is a canvas painted with diverse colors. From being an illustrator to the beloved cartoon in Nepal, Meena, to leading communications at UNICEF, to sketching paintings of diverse landscapes, to shaping young minds of artists at Sirjana College. Mr. Sharad Ranjit is not just an artist, he is a storyteller through brushstrokes, a traveler with a sketchbook in hand, and a keen observer of human nature. While his professional career spanned the development sector and visual communication, his passion for art has never taken a backseat. Today, he paints not just what he sees, but what he feels, embracing abstraction and contemporary expression with the same zeal with which he once captured vivid landscapes. Join us as we uncover the layers of this fascinating artist's journey, from the hills of Nepal to galleries of thought and emotion. Hello, sir. So, starting up with our conversation today, you have had so many life experiences, but I very much want to know what the little Sharad Ranjit was like. I mean, did he hold paintbrushes everywhere he went?
As a child, I didn't know that I would be a painter or I would be an artist. As a child, as I remember, I loved to play games, different local games with friends, and I was very smart in playing games. So sometimes they didn't even allow me to play games, competitive games within the territory of my own neighborhood. So I have to expand to go beyond my toll to other toll. That means beyond my other territory to play games. And that's how I grew up as a child.
So that time it was nothing sure that you want to be a painter of anything with that.
Not at all. Not at all. And also, sometimes I used to bunk classes, school, go to swimming in Bagmati, Bismati for months and months. During the rainy season, we used to go and swim. And that's what my childhood like. And I was not so good at study. And the factor is what is being taught. And probably being never a child, sometimes I don't comprehend what is being taught. So that way, I was not a good student in academic terms in the childhood time.
So when you say that you used to bunk a lot of classes and you were more of this child who wanted to be into games and sports more, so how was your journey as from school to colleges like SLC and stuff like that?
Okay, to be honest, I was not good in the math and English. Even, for example, I used to get in the math like 9 marks, 2 marks out of 100. In English, also I used to get like very extremely poor. So, and as being one of the child in a big family, and everybody is busy on their own, and so I was innocent. Sometimes I get pressure to study. So during the SLC time, and there's a lot of pressure to study, study, and then I pretend to study. I pretend to look at the books, but I was not watching it. Nothing goes inside the head. What's being written? What has to be written during that time? And after second attempt, and I realized that by force, I eventually started to at least understand the course content, what need to be written, what need to be studied. On the second terms of my SLC, then I realized that I'm going to fail. So, and there was a big turning point within myself that no, now I should not be waiting for the results, so I'm going to be failed in essence. So that was the time that I started to realize that I need to study. And at that time, I also went to this, one of my relatives gave me an opportunity. There was a Sri Lankan scholar coming to Buddhist Bihar, it's Ganma Bihar, and they were teaching children the English language that time. And this scholar wanted to learn Buddhism from Nepal, and for the monk from the temple said, he said, what would you like to contribute? Then I would like to contribute for the teaching English to the students of the neighborhood. So I got this chance to study English while preparing this SLC, and also I got this opportunity to go there. And after that, there was a big change in my life. And then one part is the study part, the second part is the whole mirror life is like in black and white. His whole lifestyle and everything changed into it's a different personality. So I began to study things. I began to think more logically, and also I think it has to do with also some of those teachings of Buddha, and that really helped me to realize the whole world in a different perspective. And that way, that's in one of those days, there was a Buddha Jayanti, Buddha's birthday celebration, and why don't we do something for the celebration? So let's have a painting exhibition of the Buddha's life. So I painted, that's the first time I realized that I have that skill. So a lot of other friends and also did paint a different type of painting of Buddha's life, but I started to, but it was not, I was not trained, I just copied from the books and from the stories, and I just started, that's how my painting started to take shape in my career. And following that, I eventually passed SLC. After passing, I didn't know that. Since I was not that good in English and math, I thought I won't go for science and what do you call it, engineering. A lot of it those days is if you, what do you want to be? I want to be doctor. I want to be engineer. So, of course, for an engineer you have to be good in mathematics. For the science you have to be good in English and both of it, math and science. And so I was not good. So I was about to go to study commerce, and then luckily I just passing through the Port Haiti, the fine art campus, near campus, one of my neighbor lady was coming through, and I saw there's an exhibition. Do you want to come and see? I just went there and saw the exhibition, and I'm following that. When I saw the exhibition, I thought maybe I can do that too. So eventually I end up joining the fine art in Lalit Kala campus, and that's how it started my artistic journey from there academically. But over there also, from the day one, teachers noticed that I have some kind of inherent skills to observe and to capture things. I was not born perfect, but I learned it. I learned from each and every teachers has their own skills. I learned from everybody. There's no particular teacher who has taught me in a certain way, but I learned from everybody. Some are good in light and shade, and some are good in drawing, some are good in anatomy, some are good in composition. So there are different subjects in the painting area. So I learned from all of them. That's how I grew up, and with my performance, and they were also happy. The teachers, and they used to give me as a, they used to take my name as an example of good student. So that way, see, I was doing, I did very well in as an art student in fine art campus.
Is that also how you landed up your very first job?
Oh yeah, because of my first good performance in the academic and quality and quantity point of view, and there was that time after finishing my IFA, there were no BFA. So at that time, most of the people have to go to India or abroad for further study. So that time they stopped doing this as they were processing for the graduation course. So I have to wait for that. So then is it that since I have nothing to do, the campus chief also sent me with a recommendation letter to Vice Chancellor's office to do some graphic work like preparation quarterly progress report to buy charts, and that's all. And every 4 months you have to prepare charts and progress report like you used to do these days. It's a PowerPoint presentation of the progress report, and those days we have to do it manually
By hand.
by hand, by chart and pie chart, make with all these compasses. You make the round and make the pie and divide by the different measurements, and there are ways to do it scientifically correctly. And that's how, and do some calligraphy, handwritten calligraphy of all the lettering, and we have to do everything. That's how I end up doing that. But on a long run, I didn't like that job because it doesn't have any creativity, or it doesn't have artistic any challenges there. So eventually, later they opened a bachelor's degree in fine art campus, and I joined there. And at the same time, after 1 year, then I got a job in Ministry of Education literacy program. It is partially to educating illiterate population through picture. So picture is a means to introduce keywords, and it has got such a deep, meaningful objective of that package. That's why I thought I should work on that. So I just went there and worked there in the project. So it was really great fun, and it was such a big turning point for me in my life. And this literacy package really helped me to travel all over Nepal, and that way I could relate all the content and illustration from the real life, from day-to-day life, from all walks, from mountain to the Tarai, mid-hills, just name it. I have almost, during that time, I traveled around 52 districts during the project period for 7 years. And it was on foot. You won't believe it. My daily allowances was like 10 rupees per day.
Okay.
And if I travel for 10 days, I would get daily allowances like 100 rupees. And the incentive during the travel is that if you walk, you get incentive of each mile you will get 2 rupees. For example, once I travel from Tarhan to Tankuta, it is 25 miles.
You walked and traveled from
Yeah.
Tarhan to Dhankota.
Tarhan to Tankuta, for example, that was my first trip. In fact, it was in university, before I joined literacy package. That was my first travel out of Kathmandu.
Okay.
And I went to like a 7-8 district to do a fact-finding mission on the progress report of because that time there was no communication, so you have to partially go and to get the data about the school enrollment, the dropout, physical condition of the different colleges from the university. Though it was not my job, so I just went proactively went because I love to travel. So I just went to Bhojpur, Taran, Tankuta, Shira, Saptari, Biratnagar, the whole Tarai range and walk. It was almost like a 21 days of trip. And out of that, we walked around 10 days of walking. From Taran to, we went to Tankuta, Tankuta to Bhojpur, Bhojpur to, all make a big circuit of walking. And that was really great fun. And that was first time out of Kathmandu as a Kathmandu boy, Kathmandu Newari boy who has not experienced traveling out of Kathmandu. That was great experience. And some of those painting, I still have some of them. That was the first painting I made out of that trip, that Bhojpur painting, and that was great fun. And anyway, coming back to literacy package, and the best part of literacy package was I was able to illustrate. It's not like it's like a so deep, meaningful, this literacy package. Everything I draw has to be understood by everybody all over Nepal. So some of the painting, some of the drawing, I have to redraw it like several times. Because, for example, first painting I did was Kheti. When I was painting Kheti, see, when I didn't know the plowing thing, you see, in Kathmandu, like the way they do the plow in Kathmandu is like a typical different, but the plow in Tarai and also hill is different. So when we went and field tested that painting, they didn't recognize that. No, it's not ours. It doesn't. We don't have that kind of plow here.
Okay.
So that way I have to redraw that drawing. So it has to be universally understood. Those painting, those drawings. So that way, that's how I did that, and it took me sometime 5 times, 6 times, sometimes 20 times, as people don't understand those illustrations. So that was a really great experience, and I was fortunate to have this job as an illustrator for this Niagara for a literacy package, and I was really happy that I was able to contribute. And the reason for under happiness is it is not only literacy, it also conscientization of people, problem solving skill and human development skills, and it also provides wide range of social skills and human development skills. Besides literacy, numeracy, and arithmetic skills. So that way, I was really happy. I feel very fortunate to be able to work for this project. And you won't believe it. The salary was like at first it was like a 550 rupees per month.
Per month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still I was happy, but another advantage was while I was doing this work, I used to do a lot of landscapes, portrait, and life studies during the daytime, because literacy program is in the evening. Daytime I have all my luxurious time to paint, to observe.
True.
So that's why I was able to capture all those landscapes, and I feel proud that I don't think any artist in Nepal has traveled that far, that much in terms of the way I was able to do that. And on the other hand is the observation of life, observation of people made me so rich in terms of visual archiving of places and watching the different faces, and it really keeps you so happy, and it's like you are above the horizon. You feel so proud.
So, like, with being a painter and an artist, you're also somewhat a traveler.
Yeah.
So, when you would go to these places, you always carried your painting kit, right?
Yeah.
With you. So, while painting those various landscapes that you'd see along the way of your journey, was that a form of staying grounded, or was it a sort of escape from your work?
No, there's no escape. You see, I love it. It's a part of my life. Sometimes you see, if I don't go out for a while, so sometime during the Dasai, there was one period that 4-5 years I didn't stay in Kathmandu. I just sometimes you see, I would not know where would I go. I would not even tell my mom that I'm going this way. So I just go to the bus stop and look at the people around who is riding where, and just go to bus stop and just catch up in any buses. Just ride in there and go to any destination. So one time, I remember, one time I went to the east. I went back to Taran, and in Taran I didn't want to go there. So I just stopped at Itari. I just stopped there and just went to, instead of Taran, I went to Ilam.
Okay.
I changed my destination after one certain point. And some of those drawings, you see, when I stayed in what you call Kakrivita.
Okay.
You know Kakrivita, right? It's a junction between Biratnagar and go to Taran. From there you go to Ilam, and this way you go to Taran, this way Biratnagar. Okay. I was just staying there in the hotel, just observing. You see, I don't know where to go. You see, just I was alone. You see, with my backpack of like a 30 to 35 kilo of backpack, with color, canvas, brushes in my backpack, and also a few meals like a lakmari and some poverty and some good puck. In case whenever we go to travel, you see, I always carry some foods like a
food essentials,
like a sneakers. What do they call it? Trekkers food. What do they call it?
a snack bar,
Energy bars.
energy bar.
Yeah, it's like a energy bar. You see, I used to get lakmari. You know, this dried roti nobody have. You see, you can store it for months and months. It's a sweet. It's like a dry energy. I always would have like a 2-3 kilo of lakmari, good pak, peanut butter, and one brown bread. You can keep it for whenever I travel. Is sometimes what happens is like these days you don't have restaurant in the villages. You just go there and just ask there, and is there a place to say I'm a stranger here? And all the time people used to give shelter to their homes, and they say yes, why not? In Piri Maisuta, they say stay in the Piri and.
As in the balcony.
Yeah, it's a outside the house. There's a pidi and there's a pull out a mattress and sleeping where I would just sleep there. In the morning they always feed you dimba in the eastern part. They call it for under dimba, dimba milk, and they just feed you dal bhat. And they don't charge money for the food. So what I do is, I always take out from my backpack there's lakmari and some kids. I just give it to them, and they feel so.
Kathmandu snacks.
Kathmandu snacks, and they love it, and they're also happy. So, and sometimes what I do is, whenever I travel, I always have a A4 size white paper. To leave around for their sketches. So whenever when the kids are around there, I just pen them. I would just give it them. And color painting, I always bring back. And for my own record and own purpose, I do that. That's how I travel that. And those houses, sometimes what happens is whenever you go to villages, most often you end up in spending a night in Pradhan Pandra's house or headmasters or some of the renowned people. They are the one who always
host
you. They don't charge and to reciprocally to give something. I always draw and I give them some snacks. That's what I do. I love traveling that way. And now these days, you see, it's no more like that. It's everywhere. Where are you from? Which political party you are from?
That's true.
And it's not that welcoming these days.
So I remember you once telling me about a story when you forgot that you gave a painting.
Yeah.
Likewise, the story that you go around, paint and give it to people. You forgot the instance, but then that woman, when you went back to the place, she remembered it.
Yeah, I remember that. I was once going back to Raswa after maybe 15, 20 years back, I was traveling through the same route, and there was one girl just snapped from my back. I was so scared in the middle of nowhere. A girl comes and snaps my collar and pulls me. Come, come, come. And I was so scared. And why I was so scared? And she said that, now come, I just want to I have to show you something. So by forcefully. So anyway, there were other couple of friends also, so went to her home. And she was showing that 15 or 17 years back, I did a portrait caricature of drawing in it, and she was framing it. And then I remember, yes. So you are the one, yes. She was so happy. Grown up and very, very, that when I drew that, she was around 9-year old. Now she's a grown up woman and a very beautiful lady. So anyway, I was so happy with that.
Okay.
So this has happened in a couple of times whenever they didn't know me, but they know my name and my drawings. And sometimes there was a guy in Rolpa who was following me. This guy thought that I was a Japanese. I was wearing a hat with a leather jacket and a different outfit. It's not like a normal Nepali guy, young guy. So and this guy came and followed me. After 4 days, I went to tea shop. I asked chia paincha, and I asked in Nepali, and this guy was startled to see me speak Nepali. You are Nepalese? Yes. I've been following you, sir, by like 4 or 5 days. I've been following you. Why? Because I like you. I'm also a painter.
Okay.
He said he is also a painter. And he went and showed to him, his mother has a small tea shop. And he showed me some drawing. But he's not academically sound, but anyway, it makes sense. He could survive out of he does some caricaturing, painting, and that's how we didn't have any. So I guess during that trip, I gave all my paper, brushes, and everything to him. Okay, you continue your career here. After 10, 15 years, he came to Kathmandu. He didn't meet me. And this guy was telling me such an interesting story. After that, his whole entire life I was like his, what do you call it? Mentor and a godfather, and he changed his entire life, and he's one full-fledged painter.
Okay.
And he was telling us so many the way he got married and the way he was trapped by his mother to get married and blah, 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 so many stories anyway. Anyway, there are different stories. Because of that literacy package, I heard that a lot of students, a lot of even the contemporary cartoonists and a lot of people are and use my book, those books like a resource book for the illustrations, because it has got a different forms of illustrations, cartoons, and very, very vivid way of expressing things in the social setting of Nepal. During that time, there were no any reference material to study for the painter to become an illustrator or to do any art. So that book became like a resource book for the entire communities all over Nepal. So there are so many people are telling me that, Sharad, you are the ones I learned from you. And so there are some one incident. I remember I went to check up my son in a teaching hospital, and I just gave my name. It was a special reference to meet a doctor, and I just gave my name and doctor assistant and said, Sharad Ranjit. Is that the Sharad Ranjit from Nayagordo? Yes. I purchased this guy could stand up and came and touch my feet.
Why so?
Because he said, he learned drawing from my drawing, from that Nayagordo drawing book. So I take you as a guru.
Oh, so you just learned how to draw through watching your work.
Watching my work in
painting.
Niagara literacy package,
Literally.
and that's how it did. And it was, I feel so proud. Though in terms of whole intention, I was really happy. And it has such a big, deeper meaning in the society to educate literacy skill.
Exactly. Talking about your illustration work and the cartoon related work, I think Meena is one of the first Nepali cartoons to come out, even in the form of awareness or entertainment, you could say. People generally, maybe my mom's age, they generally tell me that that was one of the first cartoons that they watched. And also other illustration work where they taught how to wash hands and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
all that stuff as well. So how do you feel, how important how important of a role did cartoon and stuff play in spreading such an awareness through art, Paramna?
Yeah, I think it has got a extremely pivotal role in terms of influencing the social change in Nepal, particularly where there's a communication gap, where the linguistic barriers are there, and picture becomes a means of communication. Picture becomes a means of education, and becomes, since it has got a universal appealing to send the message across. I think it is a powerful message. Globally also, it is said that 10,000, okay, one picture is equivalent to 10,000 words. So that way, a picture has a own meaning, and it has got a, that's why it's powerful, of course.
Yeah, also because looking at something more colorful and vibrant, even the children are attracted to watch, and they would
Yeah,
want to
it's
watch
got
everything.
a
Put them in front of this.
children, and also adult also has a children aspect inside. Though you say you are grown up, but still there's a childish aspect. Even I'm grown, but I still have a childish corner, still unexplored child aspect. So everybody loves China as cartoons. Like for example, when we were preparing Mina, developing Mina, I've seen like 1,000 times Mina, but still I never get bored watching it myself, looking at the Mina cartoon. And as Mina is another experience. You see, I was one of the creative team member in envisioning the creation of Mina, including Mina, Raju, Mithu, and even the naming them. You see, I was one of the part of the team to produce this thing. See, I was lucky that I was able to do this project along with the other colleague from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and from Nepal. I was the focal point for producing this Mina cartoon. So I did all this formative research in terms for the story development and for the conceptual development, for the development of Mina. We started from the formative research, and we also did some facts finding from all the factual things, all the indicators, and that really help us to articulate the issues. For example, the deprivation of girl children in the whole social indicator like health, nutrition, education, protections, and different aspects. So since it was guided by the fact and based on the factual issues as guided by the research, so we even did kind of consulted with more than, you won't believe it, more than 40,000 children all over Asia to make it universally appealing. So that's why Mina is so good. So we have to do, even the story, we have to go back to community to field test and get suggestion from in fact, partially it end up getting the feedback from the community and their input. So it has become like everybody's Mina. So that's why it's so popular, and I think luckily we have enough resources for producing this Mina episodes. Or anyway, it was great fun.
So, like, being in a way, while creating Meena, you also were a part of being a cartoonist. So you've done so much, a variety of work. I would say you're a painter, you're a sculptor, you're a cartoonist, you're also a traveler. So how much did being a cartoonist affect your painting work? Was there any change in dimension or thought?
It's like that. If you are in love with somebody, you'll always find time. No matter whatever you do, you are doing a job, you're doing family responsibility. If you have a lover, you'll always find your time, no matter what. So like, painting is a passion. Painting is the thing. All the creative things. Sometimes you always find time. No matter in the middle of how busy you are, you'll find time to do these things. I don't know. People ask, "Oh, how did you do?" And I say, "I don't know what I do when I do, but I just did it."
I just did it. I mean, now that you talk in terms of love, it makes sense. I think you do take out time for what you love most.
Yeah.
So, talking about what you love most, initially you did a lot of landscape paintings.
Yeah.
And right now you've somewhat shifted to contemporary art. So, what triggered this shift?
Okay. Of course, landscape, whenever I go, I have not stopped loving landscapes. And in terms of the passion previously, I have to show off things. You see, among the contemporary worlds, and he can do it. I just did it just to show that I can do it. And that's one part. Second part is whenever I see any light or color somewhere, that always inspires. I still do that. For example, last time I went to Bhaktapur, and the three layer of light and shade in the landscape, you see, that inspires me. There's so many subject to watch, but still I picked up that subject because for some reason, light and shade is there. But coming back to again, you see, this is not for the public consumption, but not for the exhibitions. It's just for my own fun. I don't want to show around. I can do it because there's no point, no need to show that I can do that in the art community. And there came to a stage that I didn't feel like challenging anymore to do those landscape and those realistic painting, because it's just like for me, it's just like a simple mathematics.
So was landscape artist did landscape art later on become something limiting in terms of how broader you could go with art?
Well, I don't know. I thought, you see, that's the end of the thing, you see, at the beginning. But later on, I realized that anybody who can imitate it. You can trace it, you can copy it, and it's just like there's not more mental challenges to produce those things. So then what's the point of doing those things? So I try to come away from there, started to deviate, and because of it was so difficult for me to, in fact, at the beginning, to come out of this realism to abstraction. It was extremely difficult for me to get away from that. So for me, for 7 or 8 years, I struggled. I did a lot of experimental work, and every stroke I paint, and the figure would come out, because every line, every atmosphere I paint, some kind of realism figure would come out. It was so difficult. Later, as what I realized, I just started to deviate from the realism, try to capture. Again, I realized that no matter how far I go, but I still cannot get away from my realism. Even my abstract work also, you will find realism. Atmosphere, the color, I just depict the colors of those atmospheres. For example, I did this one-man show on illusion bridges, depicting the tea shops of all over Nepal because of all my travel experiences. Because one of the interesting place I spend in most of the district is like the Patti. In the morning, it's a tea shop. In the daytime, it's a lunch shop and a lunch shop. And in the daytime, it's a dinner and it's a drinking place. A lot of people come here, dance, drink. There's so many cultural interaction take place in that community. I thought that's a very interesting topic. I just all those colors consistently is because there was no light in the parties
In the evening hours.
in the rural setting. So the light and the fireplace, the food they feed from the party, and they are so interesting. So I just depicted all those light settings. This is sherry is called this like all these. I don't remember, but everywhere is this. It was engraved in my mind as a illusions of those bhattis. So I just put named my painting exhibition title Illusion Freezes or Frozen Illusions of those bhattis. So that's how I painted that. And following that, now I'm working on a series of painting on the dancing theme. And dancing, I'm appoint this painting series as a dancing colors. And why these dancing colors? When you think about it, and if it is a painting of a garden, it's only the green only. If it is a blue garden, if it's a red garden, you cannot imagine. To be beautiful, you have to have colorful flowers and different colors. Then it will be a beautiful garden. Now in a society also, there's a connotation that people are with this ideology, that ideology. You are communist, he's Congress, and he's Christian, he's Islam, and he's blah blah blah. There's so much division based on the ideology. And in fact, to have a different ideology is fine. But to respect and to accept different colors, different ideology, people should learn that. In a society, we have to learn to appreciate differences. And colors are different. You are a red color, you're communist, you're yellow color, you're this ideology. You belong to this ideology. You are black, you are white, you are brown. There's so much racism all around the world. And that's not a healthy thing, is it, racism. And to be in the world, there are blacks, there are white, and there are grays, and there are different kind of people. You have to accept it. So that's why, with that, as it has got that kind of, indirectly I want to make a statement through my painting that to be different is fine, to have a different color is fine. You have to learn to dance with the different colors so that our garden become beautiful. Likewise, the whole world will be different with the different beautiful colors.
Sure. So, apart from fine arts, if I remember correctly, you also went on to do sociology in terms of academics and masters, right?
Yeah.
That is probably your wife pulling you into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So now that we talk of the dancing colors and of accepting of different norms and different viewpoints in society to make it beautiful, what do you think? What sort of a shape do you see yourself in the society? What sort of an actor are you in this society?
I think it's a big question, though it's a small, and it has got a bigger. I don't know. Is it there? In society, it is so many way of looking at the society. From my perspective, I am a simple creature. Happened to born in Kathmandu and happened to have a location located in Mahipati now. I feel I'm lucky. But in terms of how I see is like yes, I'm just a small actor. Whatever I do, I did in the past, in my what do you call it, in my own way, whatever I could contribute during my time when I have a energy and a time. So I contributed for the at least for the education sector, development communication sector. I think I did that, and there's so much to be done. And there's a new phenomena is coming out. It's all this social network and this communication thing is the world is changed so much these days. So I see there's so many ways of influencing individuals and so many opportunities and so many scopes, but still is a partially for the sake of good. I think there's a huge lack of accountable leadership. That's what I'm finding. Lack of accountable leadership. It's not only here; it's all over the world. I think hopefully someday some new
Better leaders.
new accountable leaders will come out and will make the difference to make more happier life to all over the world.
True. I feel even talking about you as an actor right now of the society, I mean, the amount of people you have mentored, even if it's just them looking at your art and learning, not directly through you, or even if it's you as an educator right now in Sirjana College, I feel you play a very important role in influencing people. Even the colors in your art, it shows so much variety, and it shows, like, even right now that you're doing the dancing series, I feel it does show a lot of balance and a respect for all the cultures and stuff like that. So talking about the colors, is there any, like, if the colors had a characteristic, let's say, so do you believe in colors having a certain character to show that they arouse certain sort of a feeling or emotion in people?
Yes, of course, obviously. The colors, sometimes, for example, if you are in a cool situation, the blues. If you are in a hot temper and you feel red, it's a green and it has got a different connotation. So what I try to depict in my colors, dancing colors are like unknowingly sometimes somewhere, someplace I've seen some of those dances. I just unknowingly depict only the colors, not the dancers. Without the defined lines, I just depict the color. That's how I started. And I think it's watching a cloud, sometimes you see their own shapes.
So, like we say that some person might see something else in the picture or the painting. So, is a painting more of a reflection of the artist or the viewer who sees it?
Yeah, obviously the creator has some intention. Sometimes they do have a purposive some intention, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes they just want to explore. They want audience to explore sometimes. But obviously it has to do with the creator who create the things. But interpretation is it always differs.
So, during your gallery exhibitions, do you prefer telling the person or the viewer what the painting is about, or you would like to listen to what they have to say about the painting more?
I think both. Sometimes if somebody want to know and I explain, otherwise sometimes they also tell us that that's how I feel. So it happens both ways.
throughout this period of your life, right now you are a professor at Sirjana College, and when students come up with you with questions like, when they are confused about do they pursue their passion or they be professional and choose what the entire, almost all of the world is going for, what are your recommendations to them?
Sorry, I could not get it. Can you repeat the question?
So to the young artists who are pursuing art instead of the normal, as you said, science or engineering, and they must come to you with questions like, should I continue to pursue art as passion, or should I get back into doing bachelor's in some other subject maybe? What are your suggestions to them?
Well, if they have chosen to be an artist, obviously they must have thought about it in terms of joining the fine arts. So obviously once they are enrolled, and there's so many avenues and scope to grow, but you have to be faithful to your work. You have to build up your foundation. That's what I focus on. Usually, sometimes people want to grow fast, and people see the example of successful people, they want to go reach fast.
Yeah.
But what I usually focus is on foundation, building the foundation. If the foundation is, the deeper the foundation is, the taller you can go. That's consistently what I said. And there's so many ways to grow, particularly these days. You see, you can be for example, if you are a good illustrator, good conceptualizer, you can storyboards, filmmaking, you can go into cartoon. There's so many other ways of going there. To be a painter, if you have a portrait artist, you can live, everybody loves the portrait painter. You can go to landscape painting, composition, creative painting. So many ways of, you can also go to graphic communications. So many ways and avenues these days. So I always focus is, what do you want to do is to focus on the foundation. And learn, as you keep on practicing, you will learn what you are good at. And you cannot take horse to the pond, but you cannot force horse to drink the water. You know that?
Yes, true.
So that way, you see, I can take you to the pond, but you have to drink the water yourself. And the knowledge is also like that. So you have to, the amount of hand, how you hold is, and the water you will get it. The size of the pot and the water also you get the same size. And knowledge also is the same way. I always repeatedly used to tell them that. And the other thing is, to be a good painter, good artist, good performer, you have to, I used to give an example of the swans. As you see in a swan, in a cool pool, is a flock of, what you call, a group of swans swimming as if they are blown by the air. So smooth, they are gliding, all those swans. But underneath they are flapping their feet.
Yes.
So to be a good performer, you have to work hard. And these are the few examples I give them. To be a good artist, smooth performer, you have to do flipping
The
your,
hard work.
you have to do that. And that's what I always repeatedly tell them, is work hard, work hard, work hard. Make foundation stronger.
I think that's a lovely message for our viewers and everyone pursuing art right now. The younger generation, to work hard and to be persistent at it.
Yeah.
So I think with this, we come to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much, sir. I mean, you're a really good inspiration for the younger generation. We have so much to learn from you. Thank you so much for letting us go through your journey, the crossroads, and everything.
I'm glad that I was able to share some of my thoughts and my experience. Hopefully, I think what I feel is like everybody has a what to call it, silver line. So what you have to do is you have to recognize yourself, believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, and that way things will be fine with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I think today our viewers will be leaving this conversation with a lot of color even in their own life. And as Sir just reminds us to be dancing with the colors and enjoying life. So see you happy and colorful until next time. Thank you.